Hello and welcome to Bay 1, this is Drafel Maraxi in part 2 of the building a hover donut tutorial. Let's just get the game loaded up here. There we go. Yeah, so if you've been watching the stream or anything like that, you've probably seen the previous video where I was just trying to earn RB to complete the build. So there were a couple of adjustments I made to the design prior to that. I spent about 100,000 RP on modifying the outer shell here, so instead of having the prisms there, I replaced those with tetras just to help reduce weight. And now that I've almost got 2 million, I can go ahead and hopefully complete the build. So the first things I'm going to need to do are actually go ahead and purchase things. I've already got 18 of these spare from the Tetra conversion, so before I do anything I'm just going to swap out all of the purple blocks that I can see, otherwise I will forget. So let's get this taken care of. And actually also need to just verify that you can see what's going on the stream here, so on the broadcast. Okay, that looks good. Even in the unfinished form, this is already an effective design. I've had some pretty good success, although it's a little bit too weak for my liking. But yeah, it's certainly a fun build to use. I need to grab some more of these. Let's just buy 10. And this looks about right. Yeah, as I was saying, it's still a fun design to use, or even effective. Yeah, let's take these little signs off. That was just my advertising while streaming. Yeah, so I think we've got those sections taken care of. We're leaving the heavier blocks on the bottom for weight management. And now we need to finish off the turrets from this side, so let's put some blocks out like this. Oh, wrong way. There we go. And same on this side. Well, these aren't really turrets. I guess we should really call these hard points. I need to get my language correct. And amount of blocks, so let's go and invest in a load more prisms. Just another 10. Probably going to need way more than that to actually complete this. Okay, so that's the actual hard points on those sections completed. Now we need to complete the hard points on here. Let's take a look at what we actually did. Those are actually prisms that are mounted out. We don't need to worry about that so much. What we will need to do to make sure these are anchored in correctly is replace those with the tetras, not the tetras, the inners. Go. And then we can put those in. That way it means it's the chain of armor goes all the way up there. And then to mount that on, I'm going to have to actually pull the gun off to finish the final mount. There we go. Let's put that gun back on. And of course, for anyone that doesn't know, to copy a block, it's just a matter of right-clicking, or not right-clicking, middle-clicking with the mouse. Or on a lot of mice, that'll be the scroll wheel function. So we've now got those turrets fleshed out. We need to do a similar thing with these ones here. Although there's going to be no connection above, so for these we're actually going to use prisms. So I'm not sure, I don't think I want to have this block connected to the center, because otherwise it, yeah, not prisms, we're going to use tetras, because otherwise we're just going to, actually, that's already connected around across there. Yeah, we don't want that. Brain's just dead. I need to grab some more. Going to need more of those. Another 10 of those. Oops, accidentally deleted that. Let's put that hover blade back in. How was that actually connected now? Oh, it's connected back on this point here. Alright, so do the same on this. And back here as well, we're going to do exactly the same, so what did I do wrong? Come on. Alright, let's take the damn radar out because you're getting in my way. There we go. Same on this side, except I don't even have a radar in here. There we go. Okay, so that's the undersides of these hard points completed. Yep, that's definitely not connected there. That's how we need that. I mean, it's connected on the back here. It's not ideal. I think that's how we're going to have to run with it, though. Is there a... yeah, I can't really break that connection. Unless we do that like this. That might be the only option. That way we still got it connected around onto this point and around here. Okay, let's change the back here as well. Because don't forget, this is what actually holds the turret in place, so probably you want to try and put a string of armor to cover those points. Even though there should be a solid core that actually connects up through here. So we also need to build out the turrets on the front end, so let's get to it. Now, how did we do this? If I pull that off, you'll be able to see that they're actually anchored like so. It's just a prism. So we do exactly the same thing with these. Anchor, 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 anchor. And that's all of those turrets there now completed. Well, not the turrets, the hard points, sorry. And now from the hard points, we still have a fair amount of CPU left. I know I'll put these thrusters on here as a little bit of additional speed. There's a better way of doing this. I want to see what thrusters we actually have available. There's some interference on the hard points in terms of being able to get those on. What kind of blocks are these? Let's see what happens if I put those one further out. Can I mount them? Yep. So we can actually have some much more effective thrusters on here. Or can I mount that on the back here? Problem is this, with that is... Oh no, I can. That'd be a lot better actually. That way we're not going to end up with any weird offset stuff. Okay, so let's revert that. I'm going to still have this as a mount point underneath. And that way we've got some additional thrust capacity from that. It's going to interrupt the flow of that weapon though. That's 1, 2, and this comes down to 3. I probably want to try and move that up by a little bit. So that means deconstructing this section. And it then means that those that don't actually have any kind of connection to anything. In which case they're just dead hit points. I mean, we could take those out for now. And if I replace them with the inners, we can then potentially invert these and make something out of this. Let's get that tier 8 thruster here. I take that block out and that block. I mean, that now fits, but we've now got this block getting in the way. So let's change that. Still no connection, but we can fix this. That now goes on. We can now put in those instead. All in the name of speed. Yeah, that's the right block type. I just need to add these in temporarily so that I can connect on. Good. That way we lose no real structural integrity. That's a little bit better, and we can probably, yeah, we can fit one of those back in. Not anything on the back there. Do I need this to be connected on there? No. This is fine for now, but we do need to have some armor shielding below that. How is this connected? This is a prism, that's correct. So, well, Tetra, sorry. So we need to make sure that there's some Tetra armor to shield that from the bottom. And then we can actually provide a blanket of armor here. Which means with this particular block we want to change this into another inner. So we've got a separate connection running along these set of blocks. And if we do that, yeah, it's just additional structural reinforcement on the front. So now it makes it just a little bit harder to take those blades out. And if we look on the top, yep, and we more or less try to echo that same kind of design on the back. Although ideally on the back we'd probably want to go with a slightly lower tier thruster, because otherwise you end up with a weird fishtailing effect. And that also means we can actually reduce the size that's being used here. So for this one we're going to actually use a tier 6 thruster on the back. So that would definitely connect on. We need to replace those with the inners. There we go, and the same on this side. There we go, and we're going to do the same plating system again. This time, that's because we inverted these. Okay. Means we're putting on a couple here. And with this one, we can actually that's better. So now we've got some thrust capability underneath. Let's just dump this into practice. And it should also mean I don't have quite the same problem with spinning head over heels. Let's see if I can actually get up the cliff, because that's why we have the thrusters underneath in the first place. Okay, that's a lot easier now. Weight still isn't quite correct. Let's see if I can get up the cliff in this mode. Nope, flipping over. Try again. No, too vertical. But it climbs a lot better than it did before. You don't get the flip type effect that I used to. Okay. Now we just need to fix the mass side of things, and we should be good so that it's more stable. And also I want more armor underneath it for protection against ground plasmas and stuff like that. So the way we do this is actually pretty simple. Let's just check what level we're kind of on. Okay, so we've got these blocks that are going across. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put in a prism on that, a prism here, and from here we now build out an internal ring of armor. So let's go to the cube depot. Let's grab 20, 30 of those. I think that's roughly how many we need. And I'm not just going to leave it like that. I'm going to have that connected as so. Now you might wonder what this is for. A simple answer is that it provides some additional protection here. It's not really going to prevent huge amounts of splash damage, but this ring armor type effect, it just seems to work really well. I just like it, so that's why I do it. The entire concept of this this bot originally was a series of concentric rings that all work together to reinforce the bot design. Okay, what do I need to do here? Actually needs to go the other way then. How can I do this? Okay, I'll have to take that block out temporarily. So I've got something I can actually connect that to. Replace that prism. And we do the same here. Okay. I think I did that right. Seems about right. I haven't put the gun back on because I'm going to have that off here again. So, yep. Out of them already. And yeah, if you want a much lighter weight design, you can always use prisms for that. But for me, I actually want the weight on the bottom. So we've now got this inner ring here, which provides some protection. Next, we can almost replicate that by creating another ring between these two segments here. So why not? Let's do it. I'm going to need a lot more of these. We're still pretty good on CPU. So now we've got yet another ring that helps to provide some protection there and provides a lower shielding for those blades. And we've still got some space here where we can actually mount our radar, etc. So in theory I have enough space that if I try to put the, there we go, radar will mount quite nicely. Or if I was to change this block out, I could actually mount them in here. In theory, at least. I don't like them being mounted on that side. So we can't mount them on any of those blocks. So yeah, it'd have to be on the underside. And generally you probably want to go with twin radar so that if one gets blown off you've still got a spare. So we were doing that here. We probably need to finish this with building out the protection on the front as well. Which this will be the lower section of armor. I'm just going to pull that out for a second so that I can complete this. This is just cosmetic mostly. Let's put that back in now. And yeah, it wasn't a tier 10, it was a tier 8. There we go, so now we've actually got some protection for that from the front. Although in terms of raw cosmetics, might be happier with using those just because it looks a little smoother. But that kind of breaks the flow here as well. In which case weight really isn't an issue here, because that's not connected above anyway. Oh. Why is that different? Oh yeah, duh. There we go. Looks a little more smooth and finished. So was this a prism? Were these prisms even able to be connected underneath there? Or what are these? These are... Oh yeah, that's because this is connected through now. Okay. Basically, same thing on the back. We finish the pull through, although for this one, do I want to do exactly the same? Yeah, that'd be fine. Although in this case, we can actually do this a little bit differently. So we have these like so. There we go. What else am I doing here? We are at 1417, so we're still 100 CPU off the cap. Let's make sure we get both radar on here. So get the second enemy radar. I mean, is there a reason I need that like this? I know it's to prevent the damage from the bottom going up. Oh yeah, that provides some critical armoring from the side there. Okay, yeah, having the radar in here will actually provide additional armor anyway, so... There we go. Got the radar, we got the concentric rings underneath. We can probably reinforce this a little bit by adding another ring system here. Although to get that in place, alright, yeah, let's switch to the tetras. Tetra. On this side we've got another tetra. And now if I pull these off, just mount them like this for now. And then 1, 2, 3. Need some more prisms. 10 should do it. Almost broke again. Still nowhere near the cap either. that's why those are the wrong blocks to have. Okay. It's better. That way, yeah, I can put that one on. I can put another prism on that side. Pull these off. Flip them around. Using Tetris for now, whatever. Did I just do? I deleted something by accident. It's definitely a prism. This is part of what I hate about doing this. Now I'm going to have to try and work out what the hell kind of prism this was. Seems that it was mounted that way. Like that. There we go. Feel like I screwed something up there. It feels a little bit more comfortable with some more armor underneath anyway, so it's a bigger plate. And now we can extend some of the additional protection to the top here. First one will be building a bridge of armor across the top here, but let's just do a quick test again. Just to test how the new weight distribution works. Do I have enough thrust to still go up those mountains? Not if I crash into them like that. But that seems to be working quite nicely. Yeah, that's just my terrible piloting skills, ignore that. And now let's jump off. So it's a little less stable than it was before. Well, not less stable, it's a little more weighty. More mass, that's what it is. There's something I can do about the slightly slower turn-in response using thrusters, and that's definitely something the original design had on anyway. Let's get some... We only need small thrusters for this, so let's get some T2s. And on the back, underneath here, we've got the option to add those. And we can even add some on the front. and they will help the responsiveness of the turning. So let's just go back to practice. And the other good thing about having more weight on the bot is that it also creates a slightly more stable firing platform for the guns that are mounted on it. The slightly lighter version, when firing, was making the recoil was making it a lot harder to target stuff without the guns spraying all over the place, so it's a lot more accurate now. So yeah, now it was getting onto the final design tweaks up top here. Now we were going to build... Nope, don't have enough. What's wrong? Oh, I'm at CPU cap? How? Oh, it's these thrusters. Oh well. Well, okay, looks like we're actually complete somewhat unexpectedly. Yeah, if you did want to do further weight optimizations, of course you can change most of these things into prisms. But the other big change that you can make with this is replacing the lasers with nanos. Like, you can take the entire top set of lasers off and put them all underneath the nanos and use it as a healing bot. But yeah, this should be pretty much the completed design. There's not much else you can really do to improve it. It's got the radar on there, it's got the additional turning thrusters, it's got the jammer, which that's of questionable use, but it does provide a little bit of armor there. But yeah, let's go ahead and just play a game and see how it runs. This is where I die in one shot. Seeing if we've got any kind of medics on our team, because these are the strongest support for this. Soul Cartel is a medic, that's good. No other medics, a lot of SMGs, so let's stick near that dude. I think that would be a bright thing to do. Can't quite climb that wall. Oh well.
Plasma bomb. Rail flight.
To flip this thing back. Come on. So I've taken some fairly heavy damage, but nothing that's really critical to my bot's survival. except the pretty much crippled pilot's, Ukun's pilot seat. And 3 kills in. Okay. Okay, we've got another person we can take out the top here. Let's just jump down onto. Oops. Coming around the other side. Not going to get to our cap in time to defend.
Radar flight.
Man, this enemy team really sucked. Mind you, my team kind of wasn't much better. But yeah, the initial outing of the completed hover donut, that was 5 kills, no 2 times bonus. We lost the game, but I ended up with 48,000. So yeah, and it doesn't look like there was any real additional premium bonus on that one either. 5%. Oh, there was. Okay. Okay, yeah, mostly lost out on that one because of the lack of win. But still, 5 kills. You can't really argue with that. Yes, so this is the hover donut, and feel free to copy the design, use it in different tiers, try and build a lower tier version. It's easily downscalable because the smaller versions will, one, have less weight. You can use lower tier hover blades to down tier it. You can use lower tier guns on it as well. But yeah, I'd really like to see someone trying to do a 1500, not a 1500, a tier 6 version using this same model. I might actually try it myself. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye.